kept it for some reason. Hi, David. How are you? I'm going to wait a few minutes for a few people to trickle in. I know there's a 10-second delay. Can you see the chat too, Journey?
Yes, I can. I loaded it. I'm going to do something about this because it keeps popping open.
Oh.
I think I could just close the, yep.
There's better
like, I'm telling me it needs to reload or you'll lose info.
Is that what it's telling you?
Yeah, it keeps telling me reload or some of the information might not be saved. And I was like, you can go away now. Like just close out. It saves it. It's Google Sheets. So I'm like, why are you notifying me? I'm not even on that.
You work too hard on that stuff. Buttercup, we're just going to wait a couple of minutes and let people trickle in. Eric, hi Eric. Hi Tony. Hey, do y'all know Eric, is Susie's stream still on or did she finish? Do you know? My little doggy's demanding his chew sticks. Look, I give my dog these chew sticks that have the stuff wrapped around them, and he takes them and eats the wrapping and leaves the stick. So, yeah, we go through a lot of chew sticks around there. Oh, she'll be here in a minute. Okay, great. I wonder if I should run to do y'all care real quick if I run to the restroom? I drank a cup of coffee and I didn't take the time out before we were supposed to come on live. So I promise I will be real quick and I'll be right back. Is that okay? Do you mind taking over for a minute? Okay. Okay, we'll be right back. Oh yeah, I'm glad I'm going.
Yep. Hi guys. How's everyone doing? I'm Journey, if you guys do not know who I am, but I recognize pretty much everyone in the chat. So where is everybody from? I don't think I asked Buttercup. Okay, Eric, yeah, I recognize your name. Okay, Eric. Is that more Southern California? From Ohio. Oh no. My husband just took the puppies over to my in-laws and they have a pool and my wild woman, Willow, just jumped in. She didn't do that last year. Yeah, I got warm pizza.
Okay, good boy. Good boy. That is the fastest I have ever been in and out of there, I promise. Okay. Oh my goodness, that light's bright. Okay, sorry about that. I'm glad I did that though.
No, good.
Okay. So if I missed saying hi to anybody, I'm sorry. I don't think I did. Buttercup, Eric, David, Tony, and Someone's lurking. That's okay. I love lurkers. I do it all the time. Anyway, welcome you guys. Thanks so much for showing up. I appreciate you more than you know. Anyway, this is Journey 2020. Or, it's The Journey, actually, right? Because I was looking you up for your channel one time and I couldn't find it. And then I noticed you have a The on your channel.
Right.
It says The Journey. So anyway, I found you. But if you
Everyone
don't know The Journey, she does incredible work. I'm going to let you explain what that is. She does incredible work for the anti-Scientology community / movement. And she's sweet as pie. And I'm going to let her take over right now. Journey, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Everybody was changing their name. They were like, "Oh, we wanted a short." I'm like, I could take out the.
Right. So, I forgot to say, just tell us how you found this community real quick before you start.
Yeah. So I had found this community a little later than most. I like documentaries, and I was looking to where I can rewatch again all the Aftermath with Leah Remini, and where I could watch it. And I went to YouTube and put that in, and I got Aaron Smith-Levin. And then I saw that Blown for Good was on, and I was like, I didn't know this. And this was 2 summers ago. So
okay.
I forget years. This was in, I believe, 2022.
Wow.
And that summer, everybody was good. And then all of a sudden, the Aftermath started splitting. And so I just watched. And then by December is when Streets LA came on.
Yes.
And then we were introduced to other people on how, how to get involved and everything. And it was around the time where Miriam was going through her things too, trying to get more information for a case. And I was getting frustrated with how the Aftermath was handling it, because it was only between I want to say Mike Bunker, and I know that Mike Render and her, but everybody interjected themselves to protect Mike. And I was like, hold up. This is an SA victim, and I don't like, she just wants answers. And then Aaron got arrested, and then
one thing after another. Yeah,
someone else was getting another handling by an ex-Scientologist. And I was like, what is going on? Because I view as documentaries as in the past. And when I saw it being handled right in front of my eyes, and my daughter's 16, and I'm like, I don't want her to grow up in a world where this exists and you can't, fair gamed and all this, and it's legal, like a little like shady. But it's one of those things where I was like, all these they're my age too. The second gens. I'm gonna be 43. So just have 10 years older than me, 10 years younger than me, that went through this. We were alive at the same time, experiencing different things. Thankfully, I wasn't in a cult, but for them and kids.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Okay, wait. You're freezing up. Okay. Nope. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, am I? Okay. So yeah, that's how I got involved. I wanted to do it by January when all that went down, but so I was like, in February, I'm gonna go to the Sacramento org, which is the capital in California, and I
Last
year, yeah.
You keep waking up.
Do I?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Last thing I heard was you went to the Sacramento org. Can't hear you.
No. Am I
Well,
frozen? You frozen? We frozen?
you're full. Okay, now you're back. Huh. Frozen. You're frozen. Wonder what's going on. Yeah, damn BTs. Those damn Thetans. They're running amok.
No,
Okay.
I was going to go down to the Sacramento org, but I broke my wrist and needed surgery.
Oh, wow.
So I waited until the end of March more to start streaming. Well, I wasn't really streaming.
Oh, dear. You keep freezing here. We hear about every other sentence. You're still frozen. Oh, shoot. My dog. Sorry, guys. My dog is here for his treats. You're Do you want to go off and try coming back? Can't hear a thing. Frozen, honey. You're frozen. Yeah. Why don't you? There she goes. Okay. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Y'all know all about that. It wouldn't be YouTube if we didn't have technical difficulties. I'm about to one day I'm going to be able to pay somebody that is tech savvy that can come and help me figure out all this YouTube stuff. All of like my computer, I always need to clean it up and get rid of. I always run out of disk space and don't know how to clean that up. Here she is.
Hi, guys.
Okay, that might be better. Okay, so you went to the Sacramento org.
Yes.
That's where we left off.
I don't know if anyone knows Kelly, Intuitive Inquirer.
Yes.
She had started 2 weeks before I got down there, but I knew I couldn't push with my arm, being freshly titanium. Yeah. So, yeah, started there. I met DOA when he came up, and then
so you live in Northern California?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know why I thought you were one of the LA people.
No, I grew up in Napa Valley.
I lived in Vallejo and Benicia.
Okay. I lived in Vallejo for 3 years. So, yeah. So we know the same area and stuff.
Yeah, I love Benicia. Hi, Susie. You are fine. You are fine, lady. She hasn't really gotten started with her story. She's talking about how she found this community. So, anyway.
Yep.
Sorry,
so I met a few people. And then I never was an activist. I never picketed. I never protested. I feel like everybody has a place in this world. I've seen the small,
Right.
What? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, you can't? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Right. Yes, I thought there was a glitch, like we were glitching out again.
No.
So yeah, no, I always just felt people felt strongly about something when I was in the middle. I could see both sides most of the time. So, are we good? We okay?
Yeah, my dog, I feel like, can y'all hear? My dog is so loud. Sorry.
It's okay.
We'll
When
get
my
this.
two
I'm
dogs
sorry.
come, it's
I
it's
am
crazy.
sorry.
It's all right.
Okay.
Yep. So it's just so I didn't know my place and what I can actually do because I like to watch human behavior and because it's unique and very different with how people walk, talk, but how
Isn't it amazing what some
yeah,
people do, though? It blows
yes,
my mind what some people
yes, it
do.
does.
Oh
And
my
especially if
gosh.
you've been trained in Scientology, it's a little off. And so I would just sit there not talking. And then I would say just hi, but I didn't want to feel like I was interrogating them or, but yeah, no, I wanted to know how this org, the Sacramento org actually, because they had no visitors, but how did they
Right,
sustain themselves?
right,
And it's a rich area too. Um,
right.
they're 3 or 4 blocks from the Capitol,
Oh,
and yeah, most of them own their own business, and so I just deep dived everybody in that, but I wasn't doxing anyone. I just wanted
right,
to know who I was dealing with
right.
individually, not as I know this is my teen.
Hi,
But yeah,
team.
thanks. Hello. But yeah, it's just um an interesting position because it's like, how can I help? But I don't even know these individuals. Maybe it's not as bad as everybody keeps saying it. Maybe it's bad in certain areas. You know what I mean? And then
Right,
as I
right,
was deep diving and finding out who these people are and their affiliations, they're big in the community and everything. And I was just like, okay, this is getting weirder. And then
yeah,
encampment went every all hell broke loose in LA.
right,
And then
right,
I
right.
went in, like I said before we went live, I was sitting on information about a
Oh, yeah,
protester, but I don't want to destroy someone. But I'm like,
right,
she's gonna say the truth, right? Like, come on.
right.
Like, and it was like I was pushed to by the situation that was happening. Aaron was called transphobic and other
Uh-huh,
things.
yeah.
And in my life, I've dealt with racism and other things, especially growing up in the early '90s. Um, just floored with how people can. And I was like, oh, hell no. And so I sent both of them the same exact email, the reply. I sent that reply to them so they were not miscommunicating. And
Right.
I finally said to Dio, I'm like, sending this to your ass too. Like, I was like, done. And all of a sudden, got real quiet with the information that I had.
So, explain a little bit, but better what happened, because what you just said, I don't think
Next.
I wouldn't understand what you were talking about.
So this
She had some
protest,
information on one of the protesters.
yes. So this
Um,
protester was covering the San Francisco org at the time. She no longer is. And she was served by Scientology, and she had a court case, and instead of going to court and facing, she just let it defaulted. But she had a link tree and asked for money for that court case that did not exist. And I sat on it for 2 months, waiting for her to do the right thing.
So
And
she kept on raising money the whole time?
yeah.
Oh,
It was
wow.
even on after the not aftermath SPTV website,
Oh, wow.
sptv.space,
Wow.
as a call to action, or
Wow.
like the link tree. Yeah. And so I asked, I first asked, oh my gosh.
You sat on it for a couple of months because you didn't want to cause
Yeah.
trouble. And then you
No,
sent,
and I didn't want to be a tattleteller. I didn't want to be one of those,
yeah,
hey, what happened to blah blah
yeah.
blah, like you passive aggressive, because I can be queen of that. Instead of, confronting, like actually.
Right, right,
So I went to Fluffer Squirrel first. I'm like, have you heard? Because I still see her link tree. She's like, no.
right.
And then I was just like, okay, give me a minute. And then I backed up and went to the protester, and I was like, hey, when was your date? And she's like, oh, I let it defaulted. And so since I had it in print from her mouth, I flat out sent it to Fluffer and said, this is a scam, and I don't want anyone in this community scamming people. And she's like,
Right.
well, how do you know it's yeah, it was like she's like, okay, well, I'll just take it off, but it could be just an accident that she I was like, okay.
Wow.
It's been 2 months since her
Right.
date. So we're just yeah, I avoided that person, just because I start, that just by that, and I didn't want to say, hey, you're a liar, blah blah blah. Nope.
Yeah.
They know
I
what
used
they
to
do.
be like that. I'm not like that anymore. At
I know.
my age, I
I
can't like
walk away.
I can't like keep my mouth. I can't bite my tongue anymore. Anyway, um, but
Yeah.
then you emailed two people or something?
Yeah, I emailed her. I emailed Kelly, because I did. We covered the same org, Kelly, the Intuitive Inquirer. She
Hmm.
covered Sacramento org before she went down to LA.
Right.
Um, I have responsibilities. I have a husband and a daughter, that's still underage. So it's kind of following my heart on what
Yes.
to do, what the right
Yeah.
thing is to do, but also not.
Right.
I don't know. It's a sticky situation when so many
Yes.
opinions, so many like, hey, that's not right. And it's just like, I feel uncomfortable. Like, because I'm like,
Right. Well, you don't want people to keep getting scammed, and
no,
if that person's not gonna like step up to the plate and just stop it all, then someone
right,
has to put a stop to it,
right.
you know?
I was just confused because she wasn't really raising money, but she had it on her page. She would talk about it every once in a while. I would catch her, like say,
Uh,
yeah, and if you can donate, that would be great. Scientology is, a big, whatever. And I'm just like, what? Donate to what?
yeah.
So it's kind of was just, I don't know. It wasn't right in my eyes, but I wanted her to find the
Step up
decision
to the
making of
plate.
like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. Just,
Right.
but I was just like, oh my gosh, how is no one, asking about a court date? And then when
Well,
we go ahead, well, let's raise tons of money. Yeah.
at that time, that was hers was kind of at the beginning of a lot of stuff, and we were a little more trusting before a lot of the real big stuff started happening.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
I started seeing too much of poor behavior, and um in this community, I've seen, instead of focusing on the behavior, people have focused on the human being and
yes,
tearing down the human being, instead of saying this behavior is not acceptable. Come back when you're when you looked in the mirror. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm see, it's like I'm a trusting person, but I'd rather know exactly where you're coming from instead of you're pretending, and then I
Right.
find out later everything. Yeah, I'd rather you show me you're a jerk, and I'd be like, cool, you can sit over there, I'm sitting over here, type of thing. Because
Yeah.
you be you. Don't pretend you're not a jerk when you're really a jerk. Because
There.
then I can't stand that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. Um, so, and
I get it.
yep, there's only one Earth or one planet that has, the ability to live on. So somehow we have to
That we know
coexist.
of. That we know of anyway.
But it's like, you don't belong here, or you don't belong over there. And I'm just like, I'm on my raft without a paddle. So I don't belong to no one.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I
Okay.
will recognize you. Yeah. So,
So
yeah.
now the fun part. I don't know how fun it's going to be. Your story. Where do you want to start? Your childhood, maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
or the
Kind of
middle. It doesn't matter. No
where
pressure.
I've come from. I've come so far with my life. At only being 42 at this point, but I feel like I've lived several lives in this very short amount of time.
Wow.
So my parents are definitely shouldn't have never been parents. My So has this person faded into the yes, they're gone. They faded
Oh,
away.
I guess I should have asked how that ended, huh? Sorry.
It's okay. They I don't know if DOA reached out because he was sticking up for her before he found out, and then he just stopped talking about her. Like,
Well, she probably stopped giving him money. That's.
I don't
Or did
know.
I say that? Did
He
I
was
say
ready
that?
to give her all the money and
Yeah,
fundraise for her.
right. Whatever.
That's what he says. He's like, we're gonna. Well, he even said he was fundraising for Josiah, and I don't think that happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not even going to go there right now.
Grifting really, really started showing itself. Everybody's gonna do something, and then it was like wah wah.
So your parents shouldn't have been parents. Shut me up because I could go on for an hour about DOA. Anyway.
That's okay. This is why I've seen the uniqueness in people, in all shades of shadiness and pure evil. I've seen pure evil, and it's shocking how someone can go that far. But my dad isn't. I think once you're an alcoholic, you're always an addict. Or like if you're addicted to something, you're always battling something.
Yeah, battling demons. Ask me how I know.
Right. I think it truly is a mental illness because your brain
It
goes
is.
yeah. But he was an alcoholic and addicted to a couple of other stuff. My mom met him at a bar, but didn't know he was an alcoholic. And I'm just like, that's where you would meet.
He didn't start out. You don't just automatically. Well, she might not have known. He might because for a long time you can be okay. He
was an addict as a teenager, and they met in their 30s, or they had me when 30 and 33. So he was good. He was into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom comes from, oh gosh, their family could not be any more different. Both grandparents served in World War II. How my dad's dad describes it is very different from the other one. He just flew in the back of a plane and got a plane ride. He was in a bomber plane, dude. Like, what do you mean you just flew around and saw other countries? I just kept flying around. That's all we
That's
did.
funny.
I'm
That
like,
is
okay.
hilarious.
The other one hated kids. Hated the
Oh,
sound, hated the sight. Like just you were
a pain
useless
in
for
the
them.
ass. Pain in
Yeah,
the ass.
you were something to deal with that didn't have a place. It didn't have direction. And I even asked my mom as a kid when he was still alive. I was like, "Is Grandpa ever gonna like me?" And she's like, "Depends what you do with your life."
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. I'm like 8, but okay.
Wow.
And my mom took on his authoritative. He served on on battleships in the boiler room. He would take white gloves to her room.
Wow.
Yeah, and she did that once with me.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit. Um, sorry if I'm cussing, but
There's one more question you might want to answer just
sure.
so he knows. And then
Um,
I'm not gonna interrupt anymore after that.
so Eric, um, so I met him and I was cordial with him, but I never was really in his chat. He would yell at his chat all the time in the springtime. I don't know if he still does
He
that.
calls them psychopaths.
I didn't know. No, in the beginning, it was just straight up yelling. We don't need any mods. It's a mod war. Like that is the beginning of that. I was like, who the hell did I meet? Like, what is happening? Because I thought I was just meeting another protester in this. I was new to the scene. I don't know. I've never been a protester, so it's great to meet somebody in like minded of like, hey, we need to bring awareness to people, bring down whatever we need to do.
You
So
thought
no.
you were like-minded. You're glad you're not.
Well, no, over there it was just like okay, but then when I was in his room, well, we couldn't. No one could speak the word yogurt or something. Stop talking
Yeah.
about yogurt.
Yeah.
I was like, that was the last stream I was really in. But then when I heard that he called Aaron transphobic and stuff, I was like, we're going way too far. Way too far. Because now it's hate.
Yes.
Like a
Yes.
hate crime type thing.
It's
And I was
jealous.
like, we're not doing that.
He's so
So
jealous. So
no,
jealous.
I don't watch his stuff. I never really
Okay, so
proclaimed it.
short answer is no.
No.
So okay, your
Well,
grandparents. Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. I can get on DOA too. I've never really proclaimed my side or anything. It's just people are going to be different. It's just I backed away. He. Hell no.
Power
So
to you.
yeah, I'm like, he can still live. Go for it. But I'm not supporting.
He can still live. That's too funny. Okay,
Sorry.
that takes the prize of the week. I love that. That was great.
Keep breathing. Just keep going. Yep. But I'm not. Nope.
Oh my god,
So my
that was funny.
grandparents were on the polar opposite, but because my dad was the way he was very violent, even to us kids. So when I was born, this is where it like really starts because I had tons of ear infections for like over a year to 2 years, like
So
back
did
and
I.
forth when I was learning to speak. So I could not say my R's, my S's, TH sounds. There goes English.
Oh, I bet that
And
pissed him off.
I would skip word. Oh God, I was asking for juice. That has an S in it. And I kept bugging him. And he didn't. He just took a knife and cut my hand open. Because I'm
Bless your
thirsty.
heart. How old were you? Like 2 or 3?
3.
Or what? What? Oh, wow. Jeez.
It covered it. Hold on. It's right here. It
Oh
covered
my gosh.
it covered my whole hand when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh.
It was huge, huge. You could still somewhat see the marks on the side where they sewed it up.
Oh my gosh.
Stitched. Yeah, it was huge when I was a kid.
I bet you didn't ask for juice anymore.
No,
Wow.
you pretty much just, yeah, I learned real quickly to not talk back. My mom, you didn't have an opinion. That was disrespectful. And I got the
Oh
belt.
wow.
The belt hung on our wall. You had like any discretion other than you follow orders, follow rules. You were pretty much left alone. You weren't talked to.
Oh wow. Wow.
But you were yelled at by other things that other people did in her life, like boyfriends. She would have live-in boyfriends come and go. I learned as an adult that her sisters flat out told her that you can't do that when you have kids. She cut everybody out. We had so many cousins.
Oh
From
wow.
her family. She cut everybody out.
Wow.
And then we were alone. And I thought we were just left.
Oh wow.
My mom took away all her support. And
Yeah.
like, as an adult, I was like, that explains it. My mom was pissed off and she just cuts everybody out.
Wow.
And yeah, she can hold a good grudge.
How old were you when your parents split up?
5.
Oh,
I
okay.
took kindergarten in Texas and then finished in the Sierra Mountains in Quincy. You know where Quincy?
Quincy.
Past the Donner Party.
Quincy,
like
what state?
Is? California.
What state? Oh,
Blairston,
okay.
Great Eagle, way up in the Sierra Mountains. Like
wow.
you just see trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, you pass Quincy, you just see trees.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for 25 years, maybe a little longer than that in Quincy, but that's where my grandfather lived. So she moved up there with 2 little ones. I finished kindergarten, but that's where they learned I had a learning disability.
Okay.
Everybody else is smarter than me, but I can't speak. I can't learn.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's like, but I always ran around, which pissed my grandfather off.
Oh, you couldn't sit still. You couldn't sit still.
Couldn't sit still. And he had something to do. I was that damn kid. My grandfather was ready to whip me. And my mom took him on as an argument because he had asbestos. Yeah. He worked in Mare Island. Yeah, he served 2 wars and then was a civilian breaking down the battleships.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what's in there. No one told him, and so he won a really good lawsuit. But it's in his lungs, and he had oxygen and everything. I ran past, knocked his oxygen off.
Oh no!
He got up fast and was like, "That damn kid, boy!" And he just started cussing me out. My mom said, "Run." And then I ran out of the trailer and then she took them on. And I just see them both screaming at each other. And it was like,
oh, wow.
Oh, I don't know if I can go back. But yeah, no, anything was disrespectful in my mom's eyes. Kids don't have an opinion. Wait till you're 18. You live your life. I live mine.
Wow.
Literally, she would say that because she would be dating and doing all this stuff. I would start to ask questions and she'll look at me, none of your business.
Wow.
Like, okay, I'm just existing. So
there's no nurturing there. No nurturing at all.
No motherly instinct whatsoever.
Wow.
My dad came, and I thought it was a dream. He came only for a couple days. He can only have supervised visits because he threatened to
Oh,
take my brother. He only cared about my brother.
oh, wow. Is
He
there
told me
just two kids? Just you and your brother? Is that all?
I have two older half sisters. My dad had started having kids at 16 and 17.
But they didn't live with you.
No, and I didn't know about them until I was 10.
Right. And then, so that's not really like they're,
Right.
It's not like they're really your sisters then, I mean.
Yeah, I was told I was an aunt when I was 10. And I was like, how can I be an aunt? I'm looking at my brother, he's looking at me, and I was like, no, I didn't have a kid. Because 10 and 11-year-olds know where babies come from. You're like, what?
And he's older? Are you he's older than you?
Yeah, okay. He's 13 months older than me. And we played as kids, but as soon as my dad came back kind of in the scene, and then he was like, I'm not doing this, and then left for good, my brother, I inwardly took everything. Because at this time, I also got essayed by a 15-year-old neighbor.
Oh, wow. How old were you again when that happened?
5.
Oh, my God.
And it was told it was my fault.
Your mom said that?
And we have to move again. Because she just moved out on her own.
I'm so sorry.
And so sorry. I became suicidal at age 5. Because if no one can stay around, might as well just go.
Wow.
And then that whole thing with my dad, and then my brother started beating me up every day. And here you're just stuck telling, everything's your fault. And I was doing my own laundry. I was washing the dishes and vacuuming. Those were my chores.
Wow.
And so I became an adult real early on, and I didn't understand it. I did not speak a full sentence with accuracy and everything until I was 8. I graduated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so at age 8, I was taking myself a mile and a half to school and back.
Oh, my gosh.
Because my brother would ditch me.
Wow.
Yep. We would cross the Verado Trail. That's now.
That was scary. That had to be scary.
It is, but I was left alone. No one yelling at me.
Oh, yeah.
I was free. And
your little bit of peace, your little tiny bit of peace in the world.
And that's where, Sarah doesn't know how the world works. My real name's Sarah, but it's like, no, her head's up in the sky and she's like, la, 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 because I'm just happy. Why is everybody not happy? And then whenever I was around people, they were unhappy. So I thought it was me. And I took it on. And then my brother would get so angry. That's how he responded to all the,
yeah.
What was happening. And then it just,
vicious cycle in your home. Yes.
Yep. When I was 18, he touched me for the last time.
Oh, wow.
So when we were kids too, when we first got to Napa, I took ballet lessons. He took karate lessons. It's so wrong. And he used a karate move on me.
Oh my gosh.
I was so skinny when I was little, and he was 3 times my size. He was 6 feet and over 300 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
He was big. And I was 5'6", 120 pounds.
Wow. Yeah.
He twisted my arms and then lifted me up and then just dropped me. And my
So he
mom,
used to really hurt you, like physically hurt
he
you.
used to physically beat me. My tongue is split because he put a 9-volt battery out of the package,
My
put it on
God.
my lip. First wanted to suffocate me. Sat on my stomach and put it on my lips until it burned, and then held it, and he counted to 60 seconds.
Oh my God. Bless your heart. I'm so sorry all that happened to you. And your mom did nothing about it, right? Bless your heart.
Just yell at him.
Yeah.
And beat him, and then it's just we're all beating each other, except I'm just la 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 in my own space when I'm alone, and everybody's like, Sarah's a little off.
Eat more pizza says, did you think that other kids are going through the same things that you are going through, or
no?
You saw the difference? Yeah. Made you wonder why your family was so messed up, I bet.
Well, in my mind, I was like, it can't be as bad as I think it is. Like I'm dramatizing it. I'm being too sensitive, because that's what my mom and brother would say. Because I cried all the freaking time.
Oh yeah.
So you're too sensitive. I'm like, you just told me you wish I was dead. Like, what are you talking about? Like, never born. Oh, okay. No response. Let's not respond.
Wow.
But yeah, I pressed charges.
Oh, you did when you were 18?
And the judge gave me 3 years of a restraining order.
Oh, wow. Cool.
My mom supported me in that, but not afterwards.
Oh, wow.
She asked us, why can't we be a happy family? And I was like,
oh, and you've been asking that your whole life.
My jaw dropped. My jaw dropped.
Wow, she was that clueless.
I had just moved out on my own. I've never been back. I moved out when I was 19, but when the Thanksgiving came back around, she wanted us together, and I said, I'm not breaking my restraining order. She's like, yeah, come on, Sarah, he's not gonna hurt you. Da, 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 da. And it's just like, okay. And I always did what I was told, always from my mom, because I wanted to be a good little girl, but I still got yelled at. But so I went to this most awkward Thanksgiving. Didn't want to be near him, have to be near him, kind of talk, but he's pissed off. I ruined his life. And I was just like,
my God. Yeah, it's all your fault.
It's all my fault. It's my fault that I put him in jail. I didn't do anything.
Right.
And say, yes, I want to press charges.
That's why it's your fault.
Yeah.
People like that, they should be able to do stuff, and they get away with it for so freaking long that they think, they think you're going to tell on me. Yeah. Go ahead.
And to my mom, I'm too sensitive. I should have let it go. And I'm like, you're the one that supported me in that. You wanted him out of the house. But I couldn't say that because that's an opinion.
Oh.
You kept everything in. Your feelings, non-existent. You do what you're told. And so here I'm like telling, I was dating my husband back then. We've been together since we were 17 and 18.
Oh,
but it was wow. I would look at him, go, am I crazy here? Or did that all happen? And now we're like, oh, Sarah, stop being a drama queen. I'm like, oh my gosh. I think I see my childhood now. How messed up. It gets worse, guys. It gets worse in my adulthood.
Oh, no.
I am blown away. I will never, ever treat my child like that. My child still holds my hand and constantly tells me she loves me because she
Oh,
saw the circus.
wow.
And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, he went into a mental hospital when he was 20 or something.
Oh,
I that was the last time I did any family function.
oh, okay.
Any. Um,
So you don't do you talk to your mother or
she
not?
died 4 years ago,
No, okay.
but that's where it gets worse. That's
Oh,
where, mm-hmm,
wow.
it's real bad. Um, so she asked me to go see him. I was like, we're
At
in
the
the middle
hos
of a 3-year restraining order, but you want me to go see? I was a good girl.
at the hospital, she wants you to go see him? Oh, okay.
So I
Mental
went.
hospital. Psychiatric ward.
Yep, on the B side, on the bad, like really bad, no shoelace side. Um, and I sat there and awkward. He reminisced about some of our funny childhood, laughing, and that was weird, and that happened. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good, go now, because it was in St. Helena State
Right,
Hospital, like that mental hospital. And
right.
so I was just like, I drove all the way home, and I didn't have a cell phone. There was no cell phone back in 2001. Like,
Right.
like everybody could afford. And then it's like I talked to my boyfriend and be like, I never want to do that ever again. Because I went in with all the patients walking around.
Oh gosh.
I'm
I'm not laughing.
20.
That's
Or I'm
strange.
19, he's 20. Yeah. It's like it was why did my mom ask me to do this? Like, oh my gosh, this is most unsafe. And he's not allowed shoelaces, but I'm here with everybody not allowed shoelaces, but I have shoelaces.
Oh my
Ask
God.
me, why is this safe? Um, that's a good question, Buttercup, because he had money and we think he was dealing drugs.
What's the question? Oh,
Um, yeah. I don't think he's an addict. I think he likes control and controlling other people.
you're
And when
talking
he
about
does,
your brother?
he gets violent.
Oh,
Um, he's proud of himself that he never had drank, never did drugs, and he's a great human for doing that.
oh, but he'll beat people though.
Yeah, and manipulate people. Um, thank you. Did your other
Siblings.
my mom was the stepmom.
What?
My mom was the stepmom to my siblings. So
Oh.
she did not get along with I found out when she was 13, she was kicked out of her mom's house and went down to see us. I was like a newborn. She did not like my mom. My mom does not like her. Flat out say, is Yvonne still Yvonne? Is Nancy still Nancy? They go, yes, and they both laugh and walk away.
Ah.
Like, my mom ruled with a hammer. Like, you don't do this. Straighten up. And my sister, sadly, was an addict at 13. And still is. And so is my niece. And it's heartbreaking.
It's rough. Yep.
It's heartbreaking.
It's hard being one too, let me tell you.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about either side of it.
No. And it's horrific just watching them destroy their life.
Yeah.
And they have to stay if they're sober.
It's hard to understand, but I'm telling you, I'm a sober addict, but I've been through and put my family through,
Yeah.
the ringer. But It's a mental disorder. I'm
I really think
convinced.
it is. And I think even if you have addiction in your family, I think there's a part of it that's hereditary. That you
Oh
have
yeah.
an addicted
Yeah.
addiction, uh, forgetting the word, but possibility, your personality.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, there's
so
4 of us kids. 2 of them are half brothers, but I grew up with them, and 2 of us are and 2 of us aren't. It's really weird.
yeah. Um, my oldest sister, I think dabbled, maybe still does weed, I don't know. But she saw her younger. She's 14 months apart. They're
Yeah.
14 months apart, and I'm 13 months apart. My brother, but they're 14 and 13 years older than me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. She was born in
Yeah.
'69, the oldest, and I was born in '82.
Oh, okay.
Um, so there's a huge gap, but my oldest sister and I click.
Oh,
Like
good.
no time has passed.
Good.
Um, and uh, I love, like, even the other sister loves me so much. But when my niece, uh, my niece was kicked out of Texas, uh, literally by the courts. You are not allowed to enter Texas again.
They kicked me out of Las Vegas for a few years.
Oh,
But
really? Oh
told
no,
me not
she's
to
banned for
told me
life.
not to come back, or else I would be arrested.
It's really.
This
Um,
was back in the 80s or the early 90s.
okay. My sister's violent even with police officers. So, or
Oh, wow.
my
I never
niece.
did that.
No, she'll fight
I'm
in.
too afraid to do that.
No, but she went on a 3-day binge and was on life support. And she was only 25. I'm only 5 years older than her.
Uh,
And I went to Michigan to see her because we were really thinking we got to say goodbye.
yeah.
And my sister got the permission because she's on parole, third strike, parole, whatever's going on. She came up, got permission, and it turned into a federal case because there was a gun missing. My
Oh,
sister and
no.
I are like looking at each
Oh,
other
wow.
going, what did we just walk into?
Oh,
Like, oh my
no.
gosh. And then we see how my sister is with her, and then my niece's vitals started coming back, and then all of a sudden we're taking her off because she's gonna wake up. We're like, oh my gosh, this is totally cool. And then when she woke up and talking to me, I could see the addict in her.
Oh,
I'm like, because she's telling me you should have brought your daughter. To you gonna die? Like, there's no common sense, and it was
right,
so.
right.
It
Oh,
was
thank you so much.
oh,
Sorry, sorry. Oh,
so it
that's
was
so
just,
cool.
it's shocking to see the addict behavior, and
Yeah.
then you're like, what did I walk into? So my sister
It's
and I kept leaving. We're like, wait, what she say? Yeah, we're not doing that. And then we
right.
both sat on the couch visiting her, and then watching my sister leave to talk to her boyfriend in a hallway, and I'm just like, but your daughter just woke up and you want to talk to your boyfriend? You and I was just
Yeah.
like,
It's hard to
whoa, this family
understand.
dynamic is even screwier. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I married at 22. He
Okay.
was 21. He's a year younger than me. But we've been together for almost 5 years at that point. And then did not uh I did not see my mom really
Uh-huh.
during these years. She came to my wedding.
Okay.
She was the only one for my family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was a small family, intimate, but everybody knew each other. On his side. His side has adopted me since they know I was.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah. And they're way more loving, accepting. They know who I am.
More normal, a little more normal.
Yeah, they're from their family's from Spain, but had
wow.
children here, and they're very familia. Like
yes.
yeah, like somehow there's like 4 generations now, and we all still get together. But we're like, our
Cool.
family's a little big, so we miss each other. But when we were still only 3 generations, all got together.
Cool.
So it's pretty cool. My mom saw my daughter at 3 days old and a month, then at 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she held a grudge against me. At 3 days old, because my mom smoked 2 packs a day since I was a kid. And we don't smoke. So I asked her to have a blanket as a barrier.
You didn't even make her go outside?
I think she did, but it's just all the smell to hold her.
Oh, I see.
He says that was disrespectful.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, not doing that. I didn't see her for 9 years.
Wow.
And I found out 6 months after my daughter was born. I went to call her. Her number was disconnected.
Oh,
God. And then she called me a couple weeks later after I tried calling her and said, I moved to Texas.
wow.
Great.
Wow.
yeah. And then, yeah. Whew. Saw my mom when she was 9 years old, or my mom saw her when she was 9 years old, only because my aunt died.
Oh.
And she was coming from Texas. I was coming from California to visit Arizona. And I saw her less than 24 hours.
Wow.
Because she did not want to see any of her brothers other than the other brother. And so she was leaving.
She got rid of that family a long time ago, damn it. She didn't want them back.
Because her one brother said she should have never left her husband. She slapped him across the face and never talked to him again.
Wow.
I'm done. Like, when I found all this when I was an adult, then in Arizona, I was like, wait, Aunt Caroline and Aunt Margaret said what? And they're like, yeah, they flat out told her that that's not okay to do with kids. And I'm like, that's why everybody
went away? Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I bet that was just a kicker.
It was.
Gosh.
Because the one brother that said you should never left your husband is Mormon, and he had 10 kids.
Oh, wow.
We were in the middle of all the age groups. And these are our first cousins.
And you lost all your cousins and everything.
Yep. Until Arizona, when I met some of them, 3 of them are 8 CHPs.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
That's wild.
And so I'm just like, family. Like, hi. But I had no motherly instinct, and my aunt noticed with my daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was playing with Play-Doh, and I was like, okay, Caitlin, you're responsible for the younger ones. And then she's like, Sarah, don't tell her that. And I looked at her, I was like, what? And she's like, no, they're all kids. And I was like, crap. It's like, okay, I'm going to play with you all. Like, I'm the adult. Don't make somebody else the adult. And that's when I realized
you didn't know
my mom, and I didn't even know it.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's when I started paying attention of how I treat my daughter, because I was like, no. but it's because I
Yeah.
never received,
Right.
you
Right.
know?
Well, how it's just like the kids in Scientology. How are they supposed to know anything, you know? And like your life, that's why I think you can relate so much to, the kids, the second and third gens, because that was a lot of the same treatment that you got,
Yeah.
and
And that's why it's horrible because I didn't think I saw other families and I had sleepovers and because I was
right.
very social. I saw how even a single mom treated or even like a husband and wife team, and I'm just like, this is this is wonderful. And then I go back
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is crap.
It makes
It
you
was
wonder,
like,
like,
yeah.
how you draw the short end of the stick or what,
And I thought it was all my fault. That
Oh,
I'm
wow.
the one that causes all this
Well,
strife
they
and
told you, didn't they tell you were?
well,
Your
that I
your
was the
brother?
reason we moved every 2 years.
Wow.
Every freaking 2 years, we had a new address. I went to 3 elementary schools
Yeah,
and,
we moved a lot
2
too.
different kindergartens, and I
Wow.
never understood why.
Yeah.
Never. I asked my mom before she died, and I got a
What?
really crappy answer.
Oh,
"To
really?
make your life better."
Because
I
why?
said, "What? To make your
What?
life better?"
Oh, of course, it
They
had to be something for you. It had to be something to help you. She did it all for you, don't you know?
It was oh my gosh, that whole 5 months was or not even 5 months. She was given 3 months to live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and 9 months and then or 9 years and then 12 when my daughter was 12,
Hmm.
um my I guess my mom was acting like there was more to the story and the lady that a husband and wife, it was the freeze in Texas happening, and my mom had a hobby farm. She had some farm animals,
Oh,
and put an ad on Facebook to help her feed the animals. Well, found out my mom was immobile,
oh,
and but I didn't know. And then the lady heard her mention daughter out in California, and she's like, "Wait, you have a daughter?" And then it was like she found out my name and found me on Facebook and was like, your mom is not doing well. And I was like, what are you
oh,
talking about?
wow.
And I
Wow.
was like, I just talked to her last month. And she's like, no, we have a ton of appointments and something really bad is happening
Oh, wow.
and you should get here. So, and she kept falling, I guess.
Mhm.
And so a bunch of doctor appointments. I come and I didn't realize there was an oncology appointment. My mom had stage 4 breast cancer.
Oh,
It was about to
wow.
go to her brain. It was in
Wow.
every single organ, in her hip bone,
Oh, that's why
tailbone.
she couldn't walk.
She thought she needed a new hip. She was going to get a hip
Oh,
replacement, beat cancer, and
wow.
then get a hip replacement. She was in total denial because here's the thing: no matter
Oh,
how you feeling like even pain, that's a feeling. You push it away, get up, and you get stuff done. You work hard. You do this, you do life. Doesn't matter what's going on,
oh,
how you
wow.
feel,
Wow.
you do it.
You
And
pushed
that's
through it.
how I was raised. And that's why I'm a fighter with my stuff. But I just now in the last couple of years realized self-care is not selfish.
No.
I need to be okay for my family.
Right.
And
Right.
it was just when I got there, I brought my 12-year-old because I was like, this might be the last time she sees her grandma.
Right.
And my daughter came away from that experience saying, that's not a grandma.
Oh, wow.
My mom didn't, it's not recognized, but like, I forget the word, but she did not, acknowledge. She did not acknowledge her for 24 hours.
You're kidding.
Didn't hug her,
Wow.
nothing.
That's how your grandfather treated you, kind of like she was treating your daughter, right?
Mm-hmm. I sat down
Wow.
with her and I said, Mom, what's going on? And then because I'm confronting her, she
Right.
was like shocked and didn't have even her dentures in. And she put her dentures and never took them out. Like she did not want me to see her in a state of helplessness.
Right.
And I didn't care if there was dentures in your mouth.
Right.
All of
Right.
a sudden, she put her dentures in, and it was like, no, we just have a few things to do. What? And because she can't talk about feelings or the
Wow.
pain she's in, nothing.
Wow.
And I just had back surgery. I had 7 months before that. I was not given permission. It was against medical advice
To
that they
travel?
to travel.
Yeah.
I could not sit, stand, or lay more than 30 minutes. Before
You had
going.
something bad, didn't you? Didn't?
I had a couple of things that were really
Oh,
bad.
okay.
When I was 30, so I had her at 26. And then at 30, I had this weird thing. I was going through school, furthering, I was an EMT, and then I was getting my phlebotomy license. So I was in
Oh, wow.
school, and I would take a shower and my thighs would swell. And I'm like, okay, is this what happens when you're 30? Like, what is this? And I realized I had mold in one of my bathrooms, and it went to my spinal cord. It was spinal fluid,
Oh my
nervous
gosh.
system, and another part of my brain. And I was taking 26 pills a day just to
Oh my
function.
gosh.
Yeah, I was on 9 gabapentin. It was insane. 4 Vicodin. And I said to the doctor, I do not want to get addicted. And he said, oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. And I was like, I'm on 4.
I never could find a doctor that told me that.
And I'm driving. And I'm doing all that to be able to be upright. I was in pain. My fibromyalgia, even like brushing my hair, everything really hurt. And so she was going into kindergarten, and I was like, I can't be on a 4 Vicodin and all this crap. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I took 1 pill away. I only took 3 instead of 4. I now know what a withdrawal is. I do not understand why people keep going to what makes you feel sick. I flat out said, oh, whoa, because I just got to an appointment and all of a sudden there's like sweaty palms, blurred vision, like you're just like, and you feel like out of body, but kind of like this weird, you're nauseous, you're sick, what's heavy, like what's going on, you're breathing, or you're clammy. I was
Yeah.
all, is this from the 1 pill I just took away? And I went to the bathroom before. I was just like, hello, like faking it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going through a withdrawal. So I'm like washing my face, trying to get the color back. I'm like, act normal. Nothing happened. And then I went through it and I was like, oh, okay, we're going to do half a pill and take it back every month. I set my own limits because I was like, I'd rather be in pain than be an addict. Right there. No, I'm not going to ruin my family's life. I'm not ruining my life. We're done. And so I lived with pain instead of being on those strong painkillers. Now, after having back surgery, all I could get was, I still had some muscle relaxers for the first year, but after that, it's like, here's ibuprofen. I'm like, I might as well chew that. I'm not going to get anything from that. And
my mom used to say, take a leave. You want some of my leave? And I want to say, shove that up your ass, a leave.
It's like,
I get so offended when people tell me, do you want some ibuprofen? I just am so offended. They don't get it.
Here's the thing. I was so stressed. At 9, my dad threatened to my neck. Because I asked him when I was going to see him next. And he flat out told me.
Because you did what?
Because I asked him when I was going to see him next.
Oh, wow.
And he said, you know what? You'll see me. And I'm going to, cut,
Wow.
And then you're never going to know when. I could be around a corner. I could be in a bush. I could just
my God.
So I always slept with a blanket or scarf around my neck, even till now.
I cannot even imagine.
And if I tell anyone, they're going to be dead too.
Oh, my God.
I told my mom at the end of her life.
Wow.
She's like, why did he do that? Like, look at me for freaking answers. I was 9. And I was like, because I was thanking him for my boombox.
Wow.
That I got from my present, the only present I ever got from him.
Yeah.
And then at 16, he had a heart attack and was in California for some reason. And I got on the phone, go, yeah, I want to talk to him. Because I had blocked out the actual memory until I was 35.
Oh, wow.
So it came back. And so here, I'm like, yeah, Dad, I love you. Like, when am I going to see you? Yeah. He's like, I don't care about any of you or your sisters. I only care about your brother. I was like, well, you're fucked. And hung up on him. Because my brother can't. And my mom heard the F word. I could not cuss either. She did not punish me. She let it go. And I was like, wow. Oh, I would have been in trouble with one trying to tell off the other. But thankfully, she just let it go because I was just like, but he is an a-hole. And I didn't tell her what he said to me.
Oh, wow.
You can't talk about feelings. You can't talk about your opinion. You can't, nope. So when my mom was going through this and they were saying you have 3 months and all this, I had my daughter witnessing and the one woman that said you better come witnessing, and only knew my mom since January, and it's March.
Right.
She's never seen a mom or a human being treat another human being that way. Wow. And I'm her daughter.
Wow.
And that woman stood up for me because I had, since my back injury, I worked with special ed. And I was kicked in the back. And I slid out my disc. And it was on my spinal cord, and I was going paralyzed. So I had the spinal fusion at 30. I was injured at 37, had my surgery at 38, and was on during this time of my mom in March. Was diagnosed April 12th. I was placed on permanent disability, and April 15th I turned 39.
Oh, wow.
And so I would take walks. I could not bend my knees or my ankles, so I shuffled. And I joke because I'm like, every day I'm shuffling. And I walked in Texas when I was there because I had to switch positions and I was determined to walk again. And they were like, you're going to be permanent. I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Wow.
Here I'm taking care of a woman that like absolutely yells at you the whole time. I'm serving her food. Here's your pills. Here's your pills. Here's your, and I have to document when she takes them and what she took, how much. And then it's like, here's your coffee. You want me to make you fresh coffee? I'm serving her hand and foot and I'm getting yelled at nonstop. And then when I took a walk, first there was only one dog in the road. This is in the middle of the country in East Texas. I'm never going to East Texas ever again. Sorry for those that live in East Texas. What is going on there? I don't know.
But it's weird. It's weird. I'm from Texas. I know. I'm from Houston, though.
I'm like walking down this country road, only one dog. Someone had a donkey over there. It was like, yeah, in the middle. I'm like, who the hell has a donkey? We live by a lake where there's like moccasin snakes that are poisonous. Yeah. My mom's warning me about any leaf pile, everything. And I'm like, I'm sorry, why do we live here? And then I just found out this summer that there's tarantulas too. And I was like, I know in California Southern there's tarantulas, but I don't live nowhere where no tarantulas are. Like, what? Where'd you bring me? So I'm walking down this country road, one dog. And then all of a sudden, and I kept doing the distance, like only half a mile, and then I did a mile, and then ended up doing 6 miles a day.
Oh, and wow.
I didn't matter what pain I was in. I was going to walk. I was going to gain that muscle memory.
Wow.
And I don't care what I have to do if this is the rest of my life. Laying in bed, staring at the ceiling is not life. And so
I hear you.
There's these pack of dogs and one's following me home.
Uh-oh.
That was not good because my mom was killer dogs. She made sure the whole neighborhood know, don't bring your chickens down the road. My dogs will kill them. I bring a dog home. My mom's yelling, Sarah brought a dog home. No, the dog followed me.
Followed you home.
And I have to open this little gate and I have to walk him out going, sorry. Yeah. And then the second time he followed me home, and I kept calling him Buddy. Guess what his name was?
Buddy.
Wow. I didn't know.
Wow.
So no wonder he followed me. I was like, the dog jumped on him and started tearing him. I jumped on that dog so fast.
Oh,
and then my mom's like, get the hose. I'm not getting no hose. My daughter's hearing this whole fiasco. He's literally like, and then the dog bit me through down to the muscle. Like there was a hole so deep that when we squeezed, and she squeezed hard, a blood clot came out. Oh. My mom only cared whether to get that carcass off her property. I said, Mom, the dog did not die. She was more disappointed the dog didn't die. And here I'm bleeding. I have holes in me. And so the lady's like trying to tell me, just tell her how you feel. I'm like, we don't do feelings. You don't get it. She's like, yes, I'm right here. Just tell her how you feel and it's going to be fine. Wow. Nope. She literally sat in her recliner as I was crying and telling her my feelings. And she looked at me with disgust. And I'm telling her that she cared more about the dog not dying than me getting hurt.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I'm like, Mom, you act like you don't love me. Do you love me? She just stared at me and then took a drag of her cigarette and blew it out. I ran out of the house crying, wailing, because my mom...
She just doesn't get it.
Oh, that woman yelled at her. She's like, I've never seen someone serve someone so quietly and gracefully as your daughter did while you just yell at her for every
Wow.
little thing and
Wow.
at her while she's doing it, and she says nothing.
I
And
bet it
you,
felt good to have someone notice you, huh?
because no
Yeah.
one has ever had, seen exactly what type of woman my mom is, because she's nice to everybody.
Oh, yeah. I know. My mom's the same way.
And my daughter, we were in a paper thin wall double trailer. She heard everything.
Wow.
And my daughter even yelled. My daughter came out when I was with the dogs, when I finally got that third dog out.
Yeah.
My mom's screaming at me, and my daughter yells, "We don't care!" My mom slammed the door shut, and I was like, "Oh, she's not yelling back." But in my heart, I'm like, "Yep, my daughter. I never broke her spirit, and I never want to. I
Good.
don't care how sassy she is."
Yeah.
But my daughter knew from that point,
Right.
your mom was nothing. And so we had left, and I brought her back, and I was gonna do my appointment, a couple medical appointments, and get situated. I was gonna go before my birthday, but my husband's like, "No, spend your birthday here with Happy."
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I went a day after my birthday. I was only there for one night because I got my brother involved. He lived in Texas, 30 minutes away in the same freaking town. And I said, "Mom, where does he live?" She's like, "Oh, he lives around the corner, but we're fine." Like, she just got the death sentence. She only has 3 months to live, if that.
Right.
And there's no possible way, because she not only has breast cancer, it's in her lungs. And they did a biopsy, and it's a different cancer.
Oh,
So
wow.
one is going to kill her, if not the other.
Right.
And she's like, "I'm just going to get a different opinion."
Oh.
And then she goes out of the thing. I guess, turned white and went to faint. They put me up against the wall, and because they all went with me.
Yeah.
The lady and her husband, and she's like, "Catch her." And then my mom's just like tapping her wheelchair. La, 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 la. I'm like, what? I'm in a time zone. I don't know where
Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone.
Yes. When I got my brother involved, it went 10 times that.
Oh, no.
Because guess who took control? Which I'm fine with, because I was dealing with I set up all her care, all her hospice,
Yeah.
and everything before I left. So her bed was coming when I was gone. Everything was in the works. So when I got back, and that woman and her husband gave me a bed because they knew I was had the back surgery and knew I was very limited in what I could do.
That was
And
nice.
they gave me a really nice bed, and they were like, "This is a type of bed that's, really good." My brother wanted it.
Oh,
He
no.
was using it when I was gone. He was not supposed to be living with her.
Oh, wow.
So he's sitting on the bed, and I still have the pictures. He's sitting on the bed while I'm laying on it with the heat on. And I take a picture because he has my iPad. He's playing my iPad. And my husband's like, "I do not like him playing with your iPad." And I was like, "Either do I, but he's not leaving my room. He won't leave my room. Why is he in my room?" I've asked him to leave. I've asked him, "Okay, I'm just going to lay here. You can go now." And he just sits there.
Because he's a bully to you.
He wanted that bed. And he kept trying to tell me to switch beds with him. And I thought, I said no. And so I went to get my own comforter and stuff, because I had called and said, "Get the bed." because the last time he hurt me and I put him in jail was over a phone. Over a phone. Gosh. I said, I cannot have this target on my back. So they came and got it. And then he complained to my mom. Mom, she got rid of the bed so I couldn't have it. It wasn't his. Right. And it wasn't even mine.
Right.
And so then all of a sudden it was like the talk of they get along somewhat. They argue about power, who's in control.
But they gang up against you.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting there and they're like, we've been talking. And instead of just you doing the final stuff and everything that's going on, Jacob wants to be involved. And I'm like, okay, but he can have it. Right. And they're like, what? They both like turn their head like, what are you talking about? Because I've never asserted myself ever with this family. Either one, like, whoo. So I flat out said, I'm like, I live in California, thousands of miles away. I just had back surgery. Like, I have hardware. Like, I kept telling them, I can't do the things you say or want me to do.
Right.
I'm not supposed to be here at all. I have a husband. I have responsibilities, a job. Like, I'm over there. I'm not here. You're here. You're stepping up. It's yours.
Right.
And they're like, well, I wanted to do it together. And I was like, I was doing it on my own with everything. Now that you stepped up, I'm stepping down.
Good for you.
Like that. And then he was counting her calories.
Oh my God.
Stagnant. And then he made her dinner, and I already went and got my blanket and stuff. And I was like, why are you counting our calories? And he's like, well, she's fat.
Oh my God.
About her swelling that is freaking poisoning her. And I'm just like it's just dripping down her leg. That's why it's so. He's like, oh, she's fat. She's stagnant. She's not exercising. She only should get 1,200 calories a day.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And then my mom mentioned a banana. Oh yeah, I would love a banana for breakfast. She still eats. So he's like, Mom, that's for the smoothie. And then I realized every food is delegated to something specific, and I can't even go in there and pick something.
No.
And I flat out was like, hold up. She can have my banana. And he's like, you don't want a smoothie? No. I started yelling at him. I started cussing, and he got right up to me, and I was like, you count her calories. You can't do that. And he's like, yeah, and I started not making sense because I'm getting scared. And I was like, Mom, you know what? I'm staying in a hotel. She's like, okay. Like, nothing happened in front of her. Like, holy shit. And so I grab my bag, my pillow, everything. And then he chases after me saying, you cannot steal Mom's truck. He does not have a license. He does not drive. Mom can't drive, and Mom gave me permission. Like, but I'm not saying this. He's chasing me to the truck out the gate. And I like throw my stuff in the back. He reaches and like backs up into me, pushes me out of the way, grabs my stuff, and then throws it all in the sand. And then it was like, and he's like, you're not stealing Mom's truck. And I was like, I knew you didn't change. Because he also, with the conversations, he put his hand on my knee and was like, I didn't hurt you when you were young, right? My jaw dropped, and I was like, you remember that 9-volt battery? You don't remember me having you arrested? And he's like, you attacked me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you were the violent one.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like,
what a psycho.
I have nothing. And I just walked away because I was like, there's no talking to this person. This person is not safe. So when he did all that, I said, I knew you would never. And I was like in tears because I was like, I'm standing up to one of the biggest threats. Each and every one of them should have protected me. Right. And now I'm facing one, and one's like useless. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he's like, and I just pick up all my stuff and just walk the country road.
Oh, wow.
I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I'm going. I get on the phone and I'm crying and I'm like going, and then he's like, Mom, where's the keys? I was like, oh shit. I start lightly jogging. I can't even walk at this point. I'm shuffling to get wherever I'm going. I go to Buddy's house because that's the one person I've talked to on this country road a mile down. And I'm like, hi, can you take me to like a hotel or something? I don't really know this area. She's like, oh, I'm about to take my daughter to what was that? Sonic, where she works. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, can I just hide in your front yard? I have a brother that's really aggressive, and he knows I have the keys. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. But she's like, sure. And then this whole time I'm behind a tree. I don't fit behind this tree. You don't see me. But I'm not about to get in the grass because I don't know what the hell is in there either. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to find me. And here this lady is slowly taking stuff out of her car. And I realize she's taking me. I was like, oh, thank you. She's like, I only can take you to Sonic. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Thank you so much. I'm off this country road. I get to Sonic and I've called this taxi 5 times and canceled 5 times because I'm like, I tell my story just over the phone. I don't know the area. I don't know what's safe. But you know what? Let me think about it and I'll get back to you. And then I get back and I was like, okay, it's me again. Are you sure? Like, that area is like, she's like, well, I was like, oh, yeah, I'll book it. And then I call him like, cancel it. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm still going to look. This lady probably thought I was nuts. I finally, she picks me up and I was like, I'm really sorry. She's like, I understand. The taxi driver company is my mom's neighbor.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yep. And so that night I went to a hotel, raided the vending machine for dinner. And my husband's like, there's no plane rides out of Shreveport because here was the flight plan. That should have told me. From Sacramento to Arizona to Georgia to Louisiana and then drive through to East Texas. There's nothing. So I took a $280 cab drive.
Oh my God.
To get out the hell out of Texas.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the thing. That night, as we're trying to get me out, the hospice lady coordinator calls me, and then I was like, did you like hear anything or about my like what just happened? She's like, no, they just told me you'll be back.
Oh, wow.
Go back. Go back. Like, what the hell? And then I told her, my brother and I don't get along. He got aggressive the last time. I am not going to be alone with him. And she's like, well, will you come to the meeting if I was there? And I was like, yeah. And then I'm leaving when you leave. So we made that arrangement. So at noon was the whole, like, we're going to have this posted of a DNR where all the nurses are doing the thing. And I guess the nurse looked at my face. And then she like was rubbing my arms and she's like, you're doing such a good job.
Oh, wow.
And then she's like, I was in your spot. And I'm in my head, I'm like, you were not in my spot. I'm getting the hell out of Texas in about 5 minutes.
Right.
And it was like, I got the hell out of there and I didn't go back.
Wow.
In May, I got a personal trainer Hired a personal trainer, and I was determined to gain strength, gain mobility, and not be permanent disabled. I worked a year and 4 months and got off of disability.
Wow.
And I ran a 5K, and then I was entered into a marathon. I only did half.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. My mom died on June 5th. That Thursday, I guess her pain was getting too much. I think it was injuring her brain. And she was awake and everything. And then all of a sudden Friday, she was going downhill. So we flew in and then drove from Houston. He's like, I'm not doing that whole Shreveport, Georgia thing. We're getting a car and then driving. I'm like, okay.
Right.
And got in at midnight. And then at like 7 a.m, we're like, everything's downhill. I entered the room. She was comatose.
Oh, wow.
And but the nurse said that she was holding off for both of her children to be by her bedside.
Wow.
And then my brother was staying there for the 2 nights that she was there. And then the nurse asked me, because I kept asking the nurse, and I kept calling every week going, he should not be taking care of her. He can't even take care of himself. He's on SSI for a mental disorder. If he can't take care of himself, he cannot take care of. And I didn't know how he was with meds and stuff. I'm like, well, hell no. And then she's like, I've seen their, arguing, and it's not healthy. But you know what? It's okay. She's okay. We're keeping an eye. I'm like, okay, every week. And so I went up and I was like, hi, I'm the daughter from California. And she even looked at me and she's like, have you had your alone time with her? And I'm like, no, he won't leave that side of the bed for me to hold her hand. And then, so she came in and was like, okay, Jacob, Sarah gets a turn to be alone.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, okay. And he had to listen to her because, you wouldn't have listened to me. And so I have a picture of me holding her hand.
Wow.
And talking to her. I have to just tell her, I'm like, things didn't happen the way I wanted. I came all this way for you. And I did everything you asked. And it still wasn't enough.
Right. So you got to tell her your piece at the end, at least.
Yeah, at least. And it's like, I did ask her the 2 questions because I was like, Mom, 10 years ago, you called me about a living will. And you told me about some silver that you did not want my brother to have because you knew he would sell it. And she's looking at me. She's like, I think you dreamed that.
Oh, no.
And she just totally, that, manipulation phase, And I'm like, Mom, no, I did. You had the weirdest conversation about, my husband's coming in with puppies. This conversation with me about your will, and it was so awkward about what I'm going to get. And I talked to my husband and his family about it, about did anybody else experience that? No. And it's just so disheartening when you're so frustrated. All I want is answers, but I get lies. And that's when I ask
them, why do you move? Gaslit all the time.
Yeah. And I couldn't ask anything. So, and before I had my back injury, just 2 months before, the craziest thing, I have syncope episodes. I get really, really hot hands and clammy, and it's so painful. And then I fall down. I literally can't stand. I'm so dizzy. And it only lasts about 10-15 minutes. This one lasted almost an hour, and I said we need to go to the ER. Went to the ER. They did a ultrasound on my gallbladder. They found 2 lumps in my right breast.
Oh, no.
Didn't tell me. The mammogram department calls me and was like, we're doing a follow-up for your mammogram. I've never had a mammogram in my life. Oh, it shows me you have 2 lumps in your right breast.
Oh, no.
And I'm like going, no, you have the wrong patient. I've never had a mammogram. And then she's like, well, let me call you back and get more details. And then I call my mother-in-law going, I never had a mammogram, right? I don't think I've ever had a mammogram. This woman is convincing me. You had a mammogram. And I'm like, no, I didn't. So then the lady called and apologized and just said, I'm so sorry. It's from the sonogram of the gallbladder. They noticed 2 lumps. And I was like, am I okay? Like, what? They're like, well,
that's weird.
It is. I was 38. Or 37. Since 37 to 42, I just had my 9th mammogram.
Well, good for you.
9th. And I mean, thankfully, I still have the 2 lumps. They're just hanging out, apparently. But it's not cancer. But then when my mom had I took the DNA, like all that. Thankfully, I don't have it, so I don't have to worry about my daughter.
Oh, good. Good.
But it's one of those, like, have a conversation. She didn't even, it's like she just let it go and not do anything and say, I'm just getting a second opinion. Like, you would know more than what everything says. It's just, honorary. It's like straight up, nope, not happening. And I get it. I'm going to fight and do what I can until I can't do it. But I know my limit, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And so now when it's so hard for me to look back at my whole life and go, is that real?
Yeah.
Like that? Like, that can't. This is just awkward.
You have been through it. Someone said you need to write a book. Right there, you need to write a book about your life story. You do.
I told a woman literally, me in Texas, just for 2 weeks, I told a woman who was on a plane with her sisters, gonna have so much fun. I was bawling because I knew that was the last time I saw my mom. Gonna see my mom the way she was, because she's only gonna get worse. And I'm just crying, but we all have masks, and I'm like, does my eyes look horrible? And she's like, no, why? And I told her, and then she realized I was crying, but thankfully it's, when you get a puffy and red and just you're wiping too. And I explained my story, and she's like, that reads like a Stephen King novel. I was
yeah.
And I only told her 2 weeks of my life.
Oh my gosh, I know. Bless your heart.
Dogs, my husband,
wow. And just like in this hour and 45 minutes, you have told, I can just imagine, like snippets here and there. If you wrote a book, there would be so much that you would have to, I don't know. It would take you a while to write a book. You know what I'm saying? You've been through a whole lot.
Be like Lord of the Rings extended version.
Oh,
battling who?
Bless your heart.
What's happening? Yeah.
No, so now, all that, and I don't even know. Oh my gosh. So skip ahead, and here you are, and you have a nice life with your family, your daughter and your husband. But now you've taken on this huge project that you've been working on for over a year.
Yeah.
And geez, are you near the end? Or for those of you who don't know, can you kind of just briefly explain what you're doing?
So I like people telling the truth. And when Scientology, first when this whole like me coming into the community and everything, and even in January of 2023, they literally just would say at the bottom 10,000, over 10,000 churches. They opened 3 entities, like which was Chicago, Houston. No, is it Houston? No,
No, Chicago, and I forget where else at that time. I remember
Texas,
Chicago. Yeah, Austin, I think.
Austin, and then
there was one more, but
there was one more that I can't even remember.
I can't remember it either.
But there was 3 things happening, and all of a sudden it's over 11,000. I'm like, I'm sorry, jumped a couple of zeros. Like, what? And that's when I was like, you know, I don't even pass a church or what they call a church. I don't like what. Where are these 11,000?
Right.
And so I started looking, and I started digging more into their list. I'm like, that's not 11,000. And then and their map, and then I just started pinning things, and I'm like, you know what? I doubt I'm gonna get 11,000. So let's do it. Let's count. Because if it was like pretty dang close, I was like, I'm not pinning that many. But because I really want the truth.
Right.
And I want to show the truth of what
you want to have proof. Yeah, you don't want to just say it. You want proof.
Oh yeah, it's Paris, I think. Paris open.
Maybe.
But it just fascinates me that people can still get away with not white lies, not little lies that maybe can show
just
their
blatantly, just blatant.
Yes. And absolutely, especially with others that have come forward with their story, they would say sitting in that room with like how many people they helped or whatever with Narconon and other things, drug free or crime free. And I'm like, okay, that's a flat out lie and that's manipulation. And with everything else going on with it, I was like, oh, this is not a documentary. This is real life. And I'm gonna share the truth. So that's why I started pinning. I have over 1,000.
Okay, and these are just locations around the world where there's orgs, missions, front groups.
What?
Yeah, front groups. There has to be a lot of those.
I have not even touched the surface with applied scholastics.
Oh,
that's a huge list. And I was like, okay, let's figure out the missions because they have so many names for missions. Life Center, Life Improvement Center. They have Dianetics, but Dianetics is not part of the missions. I have a couple of entities that have an org, a mission, and a Dianetic all in one building. I'm like, you can't have 3. But I give them 3 just to show, you know, wherever there are pins in the ocean, guys.
Oh my God. Of course, it's Scientology. Of course it's going to be in the ocean.
We're in the streets, in the middle of a street. There's no, like, where are we? What are we doing? And some of them, that's like the building's not even there on the regular map, but then on the satellite, there's a building there, but there's no address actually to it. And that's that. So there's been a pin war. My pins have disappeared or moved the location, especially in Clearwater. And I'm like, someone, because when I went live with it and showed, because I was working 7 months without people knowing. And so, or at least I've been talking about it, but I never showed it.
Right.
So I shared it. So I shared, yes, wise businesses I'm getting into. That's a huge beast as well. But I believe the wise businesses, because they say there's over 7,000. I think that's
wow.
So they take credit for other people's work.
Oh, yeah. course.
Mhm. And this is why I was like, okay, I'm going to keep digging. Once I get this, it's going to keep going. I'm going to keep
those people are just it's just the the balls that they have. It's just
yeah,
amazing. It's amazing.
absolutely. And I think people have a right to know what they claim is theirs and where your money goes to invest, because just because you don't want to put your money towards this business does not equal bigot. It equals,
Right.
I do not want my money filtering and supporting what they do.
Right.
I want my money to go to this charity or this or wherever.
Right.
I
And
don't
you're
want to
right.
just like,
People
oh,
have the right to know. They just
absolutely.
do.
Because I struggled with that too, because I did not want to ruin people's lives. Because most of these are business owned, like, you know, they put in the work and they built up their empire, and here, you know, here is how they sustain a living. But I'm like, you know what? People have a right to know what this business is and what
Yes.
the business owner is into, because they pay into um, for a membership,
Right.
and uh, I really don't think it's voluntary. You know,
They're being
voluntary.
lied to, and that's just not right. It's not
No,
right.
and
And
so yep,
like William Good says all the time, if they would just tell the truth, you know, but they don't do that. It's like
no,
they can't tell the truth. And yeah, I'm so glad you're doing this, but bless your heart, you've got your work cut out for you. And like I said, you've been doing it over a year, right?
it's in May will be a year. I didn't really
Wow.
start like working on it like a job until August. For I put 5 hours
Wow.
a day into it, uh,
Wow.
4 days a week, with the 5 hours,
Jeez.
and then I still did 1 to 2 hours on the other days. I've been
Yeah.
working on it every single day. Um, this past month, so even in this year, life has not stopped for me. I view this as charity work. My teen in the fall, she suffers with extreme GAD, which is generalized anxiety disorder.
Oh.
She is terrified of almost everything.
Oh, wow.
Um, since birth, she
Do you have to homeschool her?
no, she's mainstream, but she's actually got an IEP, so she's in the she gets extra help
Oh,
because it affected her life too much. But she
wow.
in the fall was the second time I had a in part in hospitalization.
Mhm.
Um, so extreme
Wow, bless her heart.
therapy. Uh, this fall, she didn't want to live anymore, and it
Wow.
crushed me because how do you?
Oh my gosh.
I went
No,
through
you
the
have to
same
watch
thing,
that so close.
and until this February, she kind of changed to where she's happy.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I got her back. And then my work has been crazy
yeah.
since I broke my wrist, and it was their fault. Cardboard was not where it's supposed to be, and I walked by it, slipped on it,
Oh my
and
gosh.
broke my hand pretty bad. I do not have more than 5 pound grip. Um,
Oh,
and so while I'm still in treatment, they decided that I lift something too heavy and hurt myself. And so
oh,
I'm not compliant, and they fired me.
oh,
I got
God.
on the phone with the claims adjuster right away and was like, I can't go to unemployment because I'm in the middle of this. You guys can't pay me. I can't work because they fired me. And they're like, what? And then the next day I was rehired.
Oh, wow.
Pretended like nothing ever happened.
Oh, wow.
Because it was a wrongful termination.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I go back to work and no one's there, no HR. And everybody heard that I was fired, but not rehired.
Oh, no.
Did I just get to work? And they keep putting me on the schedule only for 2 days and then like nothing for 2 weeks. And I still can't get a hold of HR. I went in today, HR was there, but she was in a meeting. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, can I work? Because they have to put me on the schedule. I'm in the middle of treatment. I'm in the middle of the case. And they're supposed to provide work for me while I'm like on modified duty.
Right.
But they keep not putting me on the schedule. I'm still not on the freaking schedule for 2 weeks, like nothing. So I show up for the days that I was told Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 10 to 2. How hard is that to put me on the schedule? So I'm just pretending I'm working there. You know, I'll go and actually work hard because the other ones are like, if it was up to me, yeah, clock in. I was like, I can't clock in. I'm not on the schedule. So I keep doing the paperwork of punch corrections. I'm like, sure. And then I'm like, everybody, like, I was like, hey, want to hear an April Fool's joke? Because it happened March 28th. And then April 1st was the first day back. Again, I was like, hey, guys.
That's
Because I
crazy.
know I've worked there for almost 3 years.
Wow.
Everyone knows me because I'm so friendly. I'm just like, hey. And they're like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, living the dream.
Oh my gosh.
I can't work the line that I was trained in because of my back.
Right. Wow.
So I'm working retail. I'm like, this is just to supplement the income.
Yeah.
I'm not bored. But now I'm like, what is happening? So
you're back in the twilight zone.
I am. I keep looking at my husband and I'm like, this is why friends back then thought I was making things up. No. Yeah.
That's your life.
I don't know. Life. Just trying to keep a teen. She says she's like, that she loves me so much. And I was like, you are my favorite human being. I can't imagine. Like, we still talk about East Texas. We're like, what the hell was
that? Oh, I'm glad you have her. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, thanks for listening to the crap.
Oh my gosh, you are wonderful. You are wonderful. I know. I mean, and everybody's still here that was here when you started. And that's amazing, especially for my little channel. Does anybody have any questions? Hi, Lori, and hi, everybody that's come in while we were talking. I don't want to miss anybody. And David, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. I'm so like,
that's awesome.
I'm still in a cloud because, you know, I got to start memberships last week and it took me like over a year to get enough to get 3,000 watch hours. Now I'm back and they took some away for some reason. So I'm back to 25. I guess once you get to it says 3,000 in a year, but I went a little bit over a year. So I think they went ahead and gave me the 3,000, but then they took some away once they gave me the 3,000. Now I have to work up to 4,000 so they can start with the commercials. Yeah, it's pretty chintzy what they did, but I'm so happy that, you know, I feel like I'm moving up in the world. But yeah, your story was great. Eric, what he said, I thought you were in your late 20s. It's because of the way you talk, he says. That's nice.
Because I don't have a big vocabulary.
No, I don't think that's what he means. I'm not exactly sure, but you're so gentle, like, and so you seem so even keeled, you know.
So yeah, when I was 35, so I was always high strung. And
Really?
oh yeah, I was high strung, like quick to anger. Like
Oh,
you do something and it's like, what was that? Why? You know, like
oh, wow.
and so I worked on yelling for a while. And then at age 35, I had a dream of
Oh,
my dad promising me that. I
wow.
woke up crying and
Oh, wow.
shaking. I constantly went to panic attacks.
Oh, wow.
And I never had like, you know, I was always a fighter. I was never um the other way or freeze. I was
Right.
never someone, I was always moving. And this
Right.
is like, I can't catch my breath.
Wow. You
I
felt like you were dying, kind of?
say what?
I hear panic attacks make you feel like you're dying, like
Yeah.
you can't catch your breath, like you're gonna die.
I would, my daughter, of course, was younger, but she was here. I can't ask her for help. I'm
Yeah.
trying to hide in my yard. I'm calling
Oh,
the advice nurse going, I have no idea. She's like, are you safe? And I was like, no, someone's coming to get me. Like,
oh,
I
wow.
don't know what to do. And, uh, they immediately got in touch with my doctor. My doctor talked to me with me on the phone over my past, and he's like, "You have PTSD," and I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
"What?" And he's like, "Yeah," and then he's like, "Talk to me about your nightmares.
Oh,
Do
wow.
you have any night where you don't have a nightmare?" And I was like, well, my dreams always involve me getting hurt or somebody getting hurt, like someone physically attacking either me or
Wow.
somebody else every single day of my life. And he's like,
Wow.
okay, you're getting night terror medicine.
Oh,
And
wow.
that, and I take Lexapro, venaflaxine,
Oh,
um, which is some other one. And so it kind of has slowed me down. I get a
wow.
pause. So I
Oh,
feel a little sedated. Um, I still
oh,
get,
wow. But it
yeah,
made you
but
calmer then.
I don't have the fight response
Oh,
anymore.
good. Good.
Um, that's why I can sit here and other people are like going off and I'll be like, okay, I'm not over there. Like, I could just leave. I don't need to all of a sudden fight and defend
Wow.
face.
So
Nope. You know, you have
it's
that.
good it's good your doctor diagnosed you right.
He
And you,
diagnosed me over the phone too.
wow.
He knows me as the one. He took over my last doctor. My last doctor left Kaiser. He comes in and he's like, I had a double ear infection.
No.
And then I had a latent TB positive.
Oh, wow.
I was exposed to um, tuberculosis
Oh my
at
gosh.
a young age, and it's hiding in
Wow.
sleep mode type thing. And so I have more, and he's like, we're finding more 30-year-olds that are having a reaction to this. I'm like, are you sure?
Wow.
And so he has gotten me like the weird diagnosis.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you know what? I trust you because you trusted. You treated me well when I was afraid for my life. You called me that.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You
And
got very lucky. I guess the universe decided you needed a break,
yeah,
you know?
yes, Buttercup, dormant. Yeah.
Dormant.
No, life has been so weird, like weird, like um, uh, not Star Trek, but is it Star Trek? Yeah, Star
Twilight Zone.
Trek,
Like the
living different
Twilight
worlds. Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
So who are we meeting today? And it's like,
Yeah.
And I'm just experiencing it and going, that's why it's like I was known as the stupid kid by my classmates, because I had to learn, you know how there's like 10 ways to say one thing, whether you
Yeah.
mix the words or I had to learn each one means the same damn thing. So I could
Oh,
be a
wow.
genius and not even know it, because I'm over here going, okay, that means that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so it's like I I see the way how complicated people are, and I'm just like, I'm alive, I'm breathing and upright. That's all I need. And then
Wow.
my family love, I do need them, but I understand how the world works.
Right.
And I've seen true evil, true manipulation, and then not everybody gets along. You still live. Go
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
Why be stuck on something that you have no control over? Because I
Right.
have no
Right.
control over my arm, my strength. Am I going to get it back? What's happening? I'm in
Yeah.
the middle of it. Am I going to
Yeah.
go on permanent disability again?
Right.
Like, what do I have to do?
And worrying, like I've learned, you can't worry because it's out of your control.
It's way
So
out
if
of
you're
your
going to
control.
worry,
You're like, I'm waiting on you, I'm waiting on you, and I'm waiting on you. And I'm just like, la, 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 like I usually do.
yeah,
I'm,
yeah, I,
it's, you got to make the best of something. And yes, there was times to cry, and there's times to grieve, because I've grieved over my body, like not being able to do stuff, or I'm in constant pain. Like I got off of work today and I
I
have
hear you.
head to toe pins and needles.
That's
Like
what I have neuropathy from my waist to my toes, 24/7. It's horrible. And the burning makes me sweat, you know? Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I know.
It's
And
so
my legs in the past 2 years have gotten so bad. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to move them at all in 2 more years, you know? So, yeah, the older you get, I don't mean to like give you bad news, but the older
no.
you get, the harder it gets. Let me tell you.
When I was 30, I was told I had a 90-year-old body. A
Wow.
90-year-old body, because of how he poked me. A spinal surgeon saw me, and he was poking me with a safety pin,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel a thing.
Yeah. That's how I'm numb from my waist to my toe.
I get numb when it's the muscles are pinching it. So I have spinal stenosis also with this injury.
Wow.
And they are positive I will be having another surgery in my lifetime because I was so young. And
at least they can do surgery on yours. They can't do.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been to a neurologist in probably 10 years. They probably I have a sack of fluids sitting on my cord at C5.
Ooh. And
And
there's nothing?
they won't, no one would touch me with a 10-foot pole because I have a little movement in my legs, and they were afraid that they would completely paralyze me. So
Yes.
it's been 10 years, and they've made a lot of progress. I'm thinking I need to find a neurologist and see what's going on.
See if it's changed at all,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
medicine has changed.
Yep.
But I understand why not touching that. They told me the successful rate of a back surgery, spinal fusion, is 1 out of 3.
Yeah. Wow.
So the woman next to me had the same surgery. She was in constant pain. I loved my medicine. I was like, I can move. And
yeah.
then,
If I don't take pain medication, I lie in bed and I can't move. I literally can't get from my bed to the wheelchair and make it to the bathroom ever in time. I can't cook for myself. I can't. I can't.
I remember having to crawl to the bathroom.
Oh, it's
and then
horrible.
getting up and then doing, that took all my energy. I was in diapers because I had incontinence.
Oh, so do I. Yeah, I wear them 24 hours a day now. I used to only have to wear them at night, but now it's gotten so bad. But
yeah,
but we are. He put the house on the market yesterday again, and he's lowering the price to because he wants to really sell it. And we're moving to northern Arizona, Kingman, Arizona.
Okay.
So I'll be out west by you guys.
Are you in Florida right now?
Yeah, Florida.
Oh, okay.
And
I've never been to Florida. So
we are moving back west again, and yeah. So I'll be in y'all's part of the kind of. We moved actually from Northern California. We moved from Rio Del up by Fortuna, and what's the other one up there? Yeah.
why are you eating dog food? My cat's eating dog food.
My rabbit used to eat dog food. Rabbits are vegetarians. But anyway, we've been on here 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think I'm going to jump off and.
Okay. I think I have Eat More Pizza asked, when you write your book, what will the title be? I don't know. Would anyone read it? Like,
I haven't.
I've
started my book, but I have no title yet either. Call it. Is this the Twilight Zone?
Yeah. What the hell? I'm reading What the Hell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was born here, and I'm just living everybody else. Yeah. When you look back at your life and childhood, do you pause and see how much you've? Yes. Now that I do, especially after my mom passed away, guys, my life just kept getting crazier, and I haven't even told you all the stuff.
How many years ago did your mom die?
3 years ago, June 5th.
Okay.
So my brother refused to do anything with her ashes, not even pick her up.
Oh, wow.
So I had her mailed to me. By the way, you can mail ashes.
Wow.
Mailman delivers it. You have to sign it.
Wow.
Sign for it.
Oh gosh, I'm glad to know.
On the kitchen table, and then went to my bedroom and had to call my husband, going, "She's on the table. I can't do it." I spread her ashes in Napa. And
okay.
I don't know if it's legal. I don't know. We found out the next year that it was a party area.
Oh, wow.
It was up in the Way Hills.
No wonder it was so nice, yeah.
I was like, "Oh, Mom, you had visitors."
Oh, you're funny.
But you have to laugh, because what else are you gonna do? It just doesn't make any sense.
I need more.
Make sense of it.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody else.
I need you to tell your story next. I'm going to email you. He says, my mother died 6 years ago and the world is safer now. Sounds like he had quite a mother too. Huh. My siblings talked me out of writing the obituary. Is that what?
Oh, my mom didn't want anything. Nothing. Don't even put an obituary.
Well, listen, my mom, oh my God. My mom disconnected from me in 2019, and she got 2 years later, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and people don't usually live more than 5 years at the most with that. But she told my sister not to tell me, so I'm not supposed to know. Oh. But I guess she's been in remission for 2 years now. So
good.
I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
Good for a human. I don't know how
What
it is for everybody around. But yeah. Oh, that's so hard.
Kelly quotes year 4544. Wait, I don't get that.
I don't know.
Anyway, gosh, you guys, thank you so much. Sarah, I'm gonna call you Sarah, but Journey fits you so good, so well.
Yep. I just went with it kind of like a news, the Journey 2020, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Thank you
I didn't
so
know
much.
what to do. Thank
You're
you,
an
guys.
amazing person. You've lived through, I don't want to say an amazing life. I think you're amazing for living through it. Yeah, you're just such a, just even beautiful, like looking at you. You're just so nice.
Thank you.
And I thank you so much for coming on here and sharing with us. And everybody in the chat, y'all are wonderful too. I appreciate everybody.
Bye, guys.
And yeah, y'all look for my next post. Hopefully in a few days I'll have my next guest. If any of you want to come and tell your story, it's very healing and validating to do that, I think. Do you feel a little better getting some of that out?
Yes, because the last
it's nice to be validated.
I was grieving it, and this time I can just walk through it and laugh a little more and just be like,
good.
Goodness, I never have to do that again.
I'm writing my email in the chat, so if anybody wants to email me, and we can set up a day and a time. So, okay, well, good night, everybody. Stay on. I want to say bye to you, okay? Bye, everybody. Y'all have a beautiful night. You're beautiful people, and we'll see you soon. Bye. If I can find my arrow, there we are. Okay. Did it end? I don't know if it ended. No. Okay, just